The president, vice president, and other top officials must pay access fees or the e-tag at the federal airports nationwide. This comes as the Federal Executive Council approved an end to VIP exemptions at federal airports, requiring all visitors to pay access fees to toll gates nationwide. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, while briefing journalists at the end of the meeting, says that VIPs' misuse of complimentary e-tags results in about 10 billion naira in revenue losses annually. He notes that a moratorium until June 2024 has been put in place. In addition, the council granted a 4.2 billion naira project for recovery equipment to handle disabled aircraft on the runways of the Lagos airport.
They don't pay the access fees, they don't pay for parking, they don't pay for essential services at the airports, and they are VIPs. And I told myself and my team, I said, not under my watch. It will not happen. If this tradition had been existing for years, I will not allow it to happen. Because it is inconceivable that in our country, it is the VIPs that don't pay for services, but it is the poor men that pay for services. The VIPs who are supposed to have money don't pay for services, but they compel poor men to pay for services. And I said, no. So I got my team together and I said, we need the backing of council to compel everybody. In fact, guess what? Our memo says, with the exception of the president and the vice president. The president overruled me. He said he and the vice president will pay. He said everybody. Let me give you the shocking statistics. Shocking. The negative figure that we get at the end of the day from the complementary e-tags we get is 82% negative, in the negative. In other words, where we're supposed to have 100% income from these e-tags that we print, it is only 18% that will now end up selling.
Well, what an interesting take from the minister, but for his thoughts on the decision of the Federal Executive Council to stop this long-standing presidential privilege and how the effective implementation of the directive can be assured, we're now being joined here by Rise News analyst Dayo Sobowale. Many thanks for joining us. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure being here as usual.
Absolutely, and always great to discuss a step in the right direction, a little bit of positive body language from the executive. What are your thoughts on this development?
Well, it's a welcome development, but I won't say it's belated, but it's amazing that it's even happening at all. Get me? And even the elaboration from the minister will show you that something has been very much amiss in the way we have been running the aviation industry. We have been robbing the industry of the resources it needs to function maximally. See, that it has taken a new minister to unravel this is beyond belief, but it has happened. What it shows is that whilst you have been lamenting of the cost of governance, you can see now that this is an abuse of privilege by those who run the government and who should know. Because they all go scot-free without paying anything. And like he rightly said, and that, you see, in a way, that is part of his human rights activist background and lawyer. That's why he's saying that. And I welcome it that he has not abandoned that altogether since becoming minister. How can you say that you have a revenue base and 80% of that revenue base is wasted away by people who can afford it? So that's our problem. You see, Nigeria thrives on the widening of the gap between the have and the have-nots and between the rich and the poor. That is what is on now. He has exposed that the rich I mean, the high and mighty are not paying these privileges, which the people who don't have money pay. But it's not only in this industry. In the legal industry, in many professional industries in this country, people pay minimal tax and they earn maximum returns or rewards. So it is correcting an imbalance. But you look at the nitty-gritty of it, apart from the sensationalism. How practical is it to be implemented? My first advice is on security, so that you don't make the poor man to suffer for the disturbance that the elites are getting involved in. These elites, the president, vice president, they travel military convoy. Who will stop them to say they want to pay tax? Unless maybe electronically, at source, they have paid it and they are allowed to move. Because if you say you should use the same toll gate with common people like us, there will be some heavy insecurity and go slow at that point. So it's why I say it is better said than done. Let them put the practicality on the ground. To say that the president said you should put him there, that is, to me, an exaggeration. Who will stop the president to pay tax? Who will stop the vice president? They are full envoy, they are paraphernalia, accoutrement of office. Who will stop them? See, when elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. It is a welcome development. It is the cost-benefit analysis. The cost-benefit analysis. And like we do with taxation, where you plug the holes, where people are not paying tax, you make sure they pay tax. But then you must use that tax for the benefit of people who elected you into power. It's a welcome development. But I repeat, it's better said than done. Let them implement it and let us see how it is being done. I admire his guts in saying it. It is a public-spirited, salutary move. I commend him. Let's leave it at that for now.
Also, Mr. Sobowale, I really like what you said about wanting to see how this will be implemented,
yes.
And I look forward to it as well. What lessons do you think can be learned from this directive? You know, in terms of informing broader efforts to promote accountability and eliminate abuse of privileges within the Nigerian government and public sector?
But it is a revelation now. Nobody knew this sort of thing was happening, and he has gone further to show in monetary terms the loss to the industry. So it's a step in the right direction. But you see, I'm not skeptical, but I will just take it now as flying a kite. Other ministries should take a cue from that, reappraise their revenue basis, get me, and find a way to block wastages and be innovative. Look for new ways to raise money. To raise money, but for the benefit of the Nigerian people. Because, see, I'm getting very happy with a new term now. Colonialism. I mentioned colonialism the other time. You can see this is another example of elite colonialism. You have the rich and mighty, the powerful, don't pay simple toll gate. Whereas some people may be arrested or their cars seized if they don't do it. They are trying to redress an imbalance in the lopsidedness of our economic benefits and privileges. It's a welcome development. Let them go ahead and save the money and use it to improve the aviation industry. Maybe as long as we will be able to have a airline, which we have not done for a long time. So it's a revenue drive, service revenue drive. And I pray it is lucrative for the industry so they can salvage this industry. That's my take for now.
And talking about it being lucrative for the industry, the Minister of Aviation has been getting a lot of pushback from his own industry. We had the incident that happened with Dana Air, following to the suspension of that airline, which people within the industry criticized because they felt that he was overstepping. Recently, he's also been criticized for introducing a landing fee for helicopters of $300 per landing. And again, the industry is saying, why are you doing this to us? How long do you think he will be able to continue on this path? Because this is another instance where, again, he's pushing back to the powers that be. He's going to get a lot of people criticizing, saying, well, who are you to come and take away the privileges we've enjoyed for so long? What are your sentiments towards the Minister Festus Keyamo sort of going against the grain?
You must admire his courage. You get me now? He's taking on the high and mighty, and maybe you are afraid for his safety. Is that your concern?
That's your handwriting, Mr. Sobowale, not mine.
What is important, he has started. It's a brave move. And so we say he cannot do it. Because when it comes to brass tacks, he'll be dealing with his bosses, removing the privileges of his bosses. Don't forget, the way our system runs, all these people, they have wives, they have families, who use these VIP outlets and so on. So, it's a brave move. I would admire his courage. Now, with regard to the industry, you see, our aviation industry is like a disabled infant, the midst of adults. When you compare Lufthansa, all these people operate, they're international clientele. You get me? And we must maintain international standard, whether we like it or not. He can control some things, infrastructure and all that. But the aviation is so sophisticated, it's so technological that we are just there. But thank God we have our infrastructure and we are a big market. People are always coming here. So it will, he is doing his best. But it's like David facing a Goliath in that industry. It's a sophisticated, Europeanized digital industry. And we are here. We can't fool ourselves. But we control the airports. We collect the fees. But the people come here to do business. And when they do business, it benefits us. That's why we are still standing on our legs economically. So let's do our hearts to this minister for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Well said, Mr. Sobowale. Thank you for your insight as always. Arise News analyst, Mr. Dayo Sobowale, thank you for joining us.